Aren't these countries worried about the so-called uh, debt trap diplomacy, meaning that China starts these projects around the world, and especially in the global South countries, but it's all part of a way to get them to borrow money and borrow money and borrow money until they can't pay it back. Then they run into trouble, and then China takes over the assets that they're helping build. That seems to be the narrative one reads quite often in the Western press. Uh, aren't these countries in Latin America worried about the debt trap diplomacy?
Well, I will say this. The issue of debt trap diplomacy, which is a standard talking point of Western capitals on China, has been thoroughly debunked. And the fact that it is still being used as a talking point by various Western leaders makes them lose considerable credibility in Latin America and elsewhere. Why do I say this? First of all, from a strictly empirical point of view, various scholars like Deborah Breutigam from SAIS at Johns Hopkins University have studied the issue. And they have concluded that it is not true. The fact is that on many occasions, China has been willing to renegotiate debt, kick the can down the road, look for alternatives in the case of countries that cannot pay. And so that's number one. Number two, from a strictly conceptual point of view, Otto von Bismarck, the famous Iron Chancellor of Germany, defined diplomacy as the art of making friends abroad. Well, if that trap diplomacy is the art of making enemies abroad, why would China get in the business of making enemies abroad by trying to seize other countries' assets? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So this whole canard of debt trap diplomacy has been thoroughly debunked, and there's no basis to it.